What's the deal? Should play upon the Bobby WAJ. Um, I hate to be a I hate to be the bearer of bad news and be the individual who pops the bubble on this false narrative that it is now officially peace in South Central Los Angeles. Don't believe that, homie. That's a false narrative, and I hate to be the one to dispel that rumor, man. It's no peace. It's no official peace in Los Angeles, even though individuals have came together and conducted peace talks. And that's all that was peace talks that's based around finding some sort of a solution that they can take to their individual hoods and spread out and see how the youngsters feel. You feel what I'm saying? I don't like to use the terminology or the verbiage of we have to get with the shooters. That means that what that insinuating, what that implies is that these young cats that y'all saying y'all have no control over and y'all can't talk to is the individuals who are out here perpetrating homicides and gang related shootings and whatnot. So we got to be mindful and we have to be careful of the verbiage that we utilize. But a lot of individuals who are co-opted, and whether knowingly or unknowingly, you feel what I'm saying? But a lot of individuals who are co-opted, you have to pay attention to the verbiage that they utilize when they're explaining or when they're engaging in talks that surrounds gang-related peace treaties and resolution to gang-related shootings and whatnot. When they start talking about the shooters and all this type of BS, man, that's basically indicating to law enforcement, anybody that we go out and we talk to that's under a certain age is the individuals who are out here carrying guns and keeping this nonsense up. One thing that I have noticed, man, when I used to go to certain meetings and whatnot is a lot of these individuals, they like to get in there and they like to demonize the youth. They like to throw the youth under the bus. Even though the youth may be disrespectful, even though the youth may be bullheaded, even though the youth may not listen, maybe you're not talking the right thing. So some of you cats who are co-opted, or some of you cats who are working in conjunction with those who are co-opted by the United States government, maybe y'all need to relinquish some of those positions and some of those checks to some of these youngsters that's out here gang banging and flocking. But if you really pay attention to what's really going on, the homicide rate has drastically decreased, while robberies, home burglaries, and commercial burglaries has increased. So it's showing that these youngsters is out here trying to survive, homie. They don't listen, they don't pay attention, and they don't give ear to certain things that you cats, come and talk about, because they ain't been trained, they ain't been programmed nor conditioned to take advice from a man. A lot of their fathers is in the streets, a lot of their fathers is in prison, and a lot of their fathers is deceased. So they come from households that's led by females. Think about how your female react when you try to hold her accountable, when you try to tell her some news she can use, and she feel like she right, and she knows she wrong, but she still got to maintain that position of whatever. You feel what I'm saying? You don't see that in some of these youngsters. You don't see that in some of these babies out here, man. You don't see that a lot of them have female tendencies, and this isn't me speaking in a disparaging way towards them. This is me calling a ball, a strike, right? A lot of these youngsters, man, they have females' tendency cloaked in what they perceive as masculinity. So the outward appearance, the exterior may look gangster and menacing and, malicious and all this, but internally, inside, this individual is dealing with the same emotions and the same feelings as a woman. Why you think so many of these youngsters are so quick to crash out? Why you think a lot of things that they engage in isn't really properly calculated, properly carried out, properly executed, or properly planned? So, just to give you a little backstory, I had the opportunity to attend this meeting that was recently held. And the reason why I didn't drive out there to partake or to participate or, share my expertise and my experience and my testimony is because when certain names came up and I say, oh, okay, Cuz has this program and Cuz is affiliated with this program, and this program is not getting private donations. This person isn't, or this program isn't getting private funding. They're getting funding from the American government. If they are getting funded from the American government, whether it's the local government, whether it's the state government, or whether it's the federal government, that means that the government has a major influence and say so in the structuring, in the day-to-day operations of that organization, and how this person carries themselves as an individual that's supposed to be a representative of the community. I say some of these cats is co-opted, so I'm cool. So when certain individuals get on here and they spread this false narrative, oh, the West Side Crips or the South Central Crips, 30s to the 100s, they got peace with the Hoovers and the 8. That's not true. Because when you holler at these babies that's trying to find a way, when you holler at these babies that's looking for an identity, that's looking for relevance, well, let me not even say babies. When you holler at some of the young homies, you know what their message is? I'm going to tell you what they told me. They said, fuck peace. It ain't no peace street. It's on. See, a lot of individuals don't know how to talk to the desires, the lack of these kids. When you're building something that's this monumental, you have to include them. It has to be inclusion. It should be representation from every generation. Now everybody can hold everybody accountable. Now everybody can put their relationships with the opposition or the rivals, or what we used to call the enemigos. We could put those relationships on display to show the little homies it's not as bad as we portrayed it to be. Cause I got a partner from the other side. That's my partner. That's being there for me, in certain instances more than my homies have been there for me. When you put these type of relationships on display, it plants a seed. And sometimes all we need to do is plant the seed and allow the situations and conditions and circumstances of life to water that seed. And when it blossoms, that individual, that youngster who it blossoms is going to be a leader of his peers that say, hold on, man, let's hear what OG got to say. So what's the deal, OG? So now that you got their attention, you got to hold their attention. You, and you. I want to give y'all a stipend, or I want to put y'all on payroll. You don't got to write no report snitching. You don't got to get on what's the name of that app that Munchie B say he put reports in and he don't know where to go to, Polaris or something of that nature. You don't got to do none of that. All you have to do is hold your peers accountable. All you have to do is make sure that your homies ain't out there starting trouble and resurrecting this beef. That's all we need you to do. We just need that commitment. And the longer that you all stay committed to this process, the more progress you'll be able to get out of it. Because now we want to talk to you. So now that we have peace, right? Now we can focus on group economics. Let me show y'all how to take this money and go put a down payment on this what you call it, commercial property. Now let me show you how to do this, and let me show you how to, apply for an EIN number. Let me show you how to start your LLC. Let me show you how to go on this website and get your goods for a discounted price. Now you got your own shoe store. Now let me show you how to connect with this individual that used to be considered the enemigo. Let me show you how to connect with him, how to start this nonprofit organization. And you got to give some of the money away for a tax write-off. But you want to donate to him, and he's going to donate to your nonprofit organization, and everybody eats. So when the little homies is out here, looking, like life is tough on them, we got an organization that's going to help you. We're going to get you in school. We're going to support you. As long as you're going to school, we're going to get you stipends. We're going to keep you fresh. We're going to keep you fly. And your job is to go to school. That's what we need to do. Let's stop always coming to these platforms. Let's stop always coming to these channels and going to these meetings and trying to speak for youngsters who are very well capable of speaking for themselves. Let them youngsters speak for themselves. All that's needed for hate amongst us to exist is separation and lack of communication. Because you see these same youngsters, when they commit a crime and they go to the California Department of Corrections, they give them a program. And all we got to do is implement prison, not structure, not politics, but prison protocol. We have to implement prison protocol out here on the streets. Accountability, respect, discipline, unity, structure. We have to bring that out here to the streets. We have to have a foundation that we all can build upon that's going to hold individuals accountable. And if you don't want to be held accountable, then you need to leave, because now we're going to execute discipline. There's going to be consequences for the infractions that you commit that can put all of us back in a situation to where individuals are burying their babies and trying to, sell food plates to make funeral arrangements, or, trying to get this line over here to collect calls and this, that, and third, all that we've been doing for over 30 some years, and it don't work. We've been doing it in certain cases, in certain hoods, homie, certain situations. We've been doing it for 40 years and it's ineffective. It doesn't work. So if it's ineffective and it doesn't work, and we know that Crippin' and Blood or Crippin' and Pyroon was started, created by youngsters who are under the age of 25, whose brains hasn't fully developed, why don't we hold that in consideration as grown men and stop abide by politics that was created by kids who hasn't reached a certain level of maturation or maturity? But I said all that to say this, homie. Y'all got to get the youth involved. And y'all may have to incentivize them. Y'all may have to give them some form of stipend.
Bring your trip to life with Expedia's Chat GPT integration.
Leadership position or consulting
what did everyone
position
make?
in this movement, so that they can have a vested interest in the movement. If I have something invested in the movement, then I am more willing to make sure that this movement is a success. There's no peace in it, baby. And damn sure ain't no peace in lives. So before we get on the internet and start creating these false narratives for likes and subscriptions and shares and clout and all that, man, let's give the people the reality, man. Let's stop living in the fantasy world. Ain't no peace in LA. Damn sure ain't no peace in Washington. I stay up and stay strong. Too black, too strong. We all we need, we all we got. We still praying and we still pushing and we still hoping for peace. But this is the thing. When we start having these organic conversations or whatnot, anybody that's receiving any type of money or that's affiliated or associated with anybody that's receiving money from the United States government, feds, or the state or the city, they don't need to be in that meeting, because they benefit off the destruction. They benefit off the beat. And a lot of them come into these meetings to spectate, to infiltrate, spectate, and then go out to their handlers and educate. So we got to create this from an organic place. You know what I'm saying? We can't be, building with people whose main concern is money. We can't come together under the banner of money, because if the money isn't present, that means the peace isn't authentic. That means that the commitment isn't genuine, because you're attaching the peace and you're attaching your commitment to trying to establish peace to a dollar value. But if there's already individuals who are getting paid, then y'all need to make sure that these youngsters know what they get as well. Because they out there flocking, they out there on these leans, these controlled substances, and they ain't thinking right. You get what I'm saying? But as I've said before, y'all still be strong, too black, too strong. We all we need, we all we got. Let's manifest peace, man. But we got to make sure we got the right pieces on the board when we start having these organic and authentic conversations about changing the narrative about what's going on in South Central Los Angeles, Compton, Watts, and everything in between the surrounding areas. Just play up on the Bobby W. and J. I'm gone.